Hi everyone, I'm Tracy, your host for A Chandler's Channel, and today's session is our weekly reading for August 12th to 18th, 2013. So if that's what you're here for, please stay tuned. I'll go get Whitehawk in just a moment to see what he has to say about the week ahead. But if you are a regular follower, you know what I'm going to say next, which is I always like to touch back on the previous week to see if there were any parallels, or to share with you if there were parallels in my life or what insights I have on that. I haven't heard from you guys lately. I always say I'd love to. Don't be shy, step up to the plate, let's go. And then, yeah, you could express how there were parallels or perhaps not even parallels, and maybe you'll even have insights you can share at some point in time. I see it happening, it just hasn't happened yet. So a couple of things I just wanted to touch on before we move forward as well is that, so sorry about the glare that happens through my glasses. I see that often, when I'm watching the video back. So I apologize for that. Someday maybe I'll end up with contacts or I'll get better lighting. But for now, this is where we are, so I'll just accept it as that. The second thing is, in our August monthly reading, we had expressed about, when I say we too, I mean, Whitehawk and me, or Whitehawk Jesus and me. We spoke of the Knights of the Templar's Cross and the Knights of Camelot, and I had expressed to you that the Knights of a Templar's Cross is a specific type cross and that I wear it on a chain. And so I wasn't wearing it that day. So today I have it to show you. This is it. Sorry, I'm probably cutting myself off. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that shape? See it? It's, yeah, it does that. And out. Sorry, so you can see me, right? And then up and up and up, and then that's the Knights of the Templar's Cross. And if you look it up, you've probably seen it. So I just wanted to share that with you. Okay, so getting back to last week and what Whitehawk had said, he had expressed a desire for you to start connecting with your own intuition and your higher self, and to listen to what your thoughts are, express it in a journal. So I wanted to show you what I use as a journal. I just use a regular notebook. You can see it's been sort of doodled on, not by me, but by my kids probably. And when I write, it's messy, okay? I write on a slant. That is me. That is how I write. And it just, because I go with, as Whitehawk's talking or whatever spirit guide is talking, I just write as quickly as I can. And usually it's only me who can decipher it, It's like a doctor's writing. But I write it, I can see it, and that's what's important. I can go back then a year later, and I have a whole, tote full of these. Go back and check on them and go, oh, that's what that means. And then I become more intuitive. And then also even more trusting of spirit. And the other thing I wanted to mention is the diagonal writing. That's just me. That's me being me. I can't write straight on a straight line. I had to do it in school because you had to. I don't do it on a journal because that's me and that's my creativity. And that's how I come out. So express yourself, right? So that's journaling. So that's journaling for me. So I thought I'd share that with you. So last week he had mentioned about getting in touch with yourself. And the reason we were doing that is because there is so much uncertainty out there that it's creating a lot of sadness and fear of our future because we're not living our life on purpose or with purpose, right? You've probably heard that saying many times about if you live on your life on purpose, then you will be happy. You will naturally have a flow in your life. The happiness will be, on the higher side as opposed to the bad days. There'll be less bad days, more good days is what I'm trying to say. And if you want to see, and I should embed this in my description, maybe I will. If you want to see how it changes the glow of yourself, living your life on purpose. One, you can go back to my very first video, which was the spring equinox, and just see how atrocious that was, because I was scared poopless, first off, getting on here. And I didn't really know what I was doing, but then I got better at lighting and stuff like that too, so that helped. But if you look back at that one and then look at this one, you'll see a huge difference in my demeanor. But also there's Mindy McKnight. There's Knight, there's that Knight. Mindy McKnight. She does cute girls hairstyles on YouTube. And she's a big blogger, mom vlogger, and she's just sensational. And she has her family involved with her daughters. And she does hairstyles. So if you go back to her earlier filmings, you see how, you know, she didn't know where this was going, but she was doing it. And then how it just evolutionized, how it just kept getting bigger and better. And if you watch Mindy, like, she's day and night from the first video to what she's doing now. Like, there's just more glow in her. She's living her life on purpose, right? She's living it with a purpose. So you'll see that change in the people. And so that's what I'm wishing for you guys and the rest of the world. So that's why I'm here and that's why I'm doing this. So let's go get White Hawk and see what he has to say, because I could keep going, right? But we're already 6 minutes in. Yowzers. Okay, let's go get White Hawk. He goes, indeed, when one lives their life on purpose, he says, you cannot have but a natural effervescence that that comes about you. He says, when you're living your life on purpose, he says, but not only living your life on purpose, but living your life doing something that you enjoy and has purpose. And he says, and so if you go back, as this little one has expressed an interest for you to do, in anyone's videos or anybody where they started, well, let's just say where they started, and then seen them a few months, a few years later, you will see the difference in them, because now they've got their flow. Now they're in motion, and they know what they're doing, and they're living, he says. They are living. They're not scared, and I'm censoring it. Okay, I won't. He says they're not scared shitless or poopless, he says, as nice as Tracy is being. They are moving forward fearlessly because they have the desire, the motivation. Not only do they have the desire and motivation, they have the knowledge. They have insight as to where they are going. And even if they don't know exactly what it is they're doing on purpose, they know there's a future, and they have a belief. And that is what is propelling them forward. And that is what I wish for all of you, my friends. And that is what we are working on here today and every day when we come and we speak to you, trying to get you to live with purpose and on purpose. So those are our desires and wishes for you, peeps. Keep moving forward, he says. Keep moving forward. He says, but yes, indeed, as always, we do want to touch on how our week is going to flow. There is no doubt. He says, so last week, I had said to you about perhaps using a journal and writing down your thoughts and your motivations and your insights, or maybe just creating, he says, creating a picture. And I see him like showing a flower, someone taking pencils and just drawing a flower that they've seen in nature. He says, this is very powerful stuff, little ones, he says, when you're out in nature, and to bring forth that creation out of you onto paper, he says. That is very powerful manifestation tools, he says. So he says, whether it be that you write or whether it be that you draw, or whether it be that you just chant it out. He says, you are bringing it from within to without. And that is the key in manifestation. And he says, and this one will tell you, because I'm picturing this exhibit I went to at one of our museums from the Egyptians. And I wish I had, at that time, it's years ago, I wish at that time I'd had a camera and I could have took a picture of this quote. He says, yes, indeed. And he's showing it to me, but I can't see the quote, right? He says, that is okay. I will give you the gist of it, or paraphrase it here for you. What they are telling you, he says, is that in order to manifest the desires of oneself, one must bring it from within to without. So one must speak it, he says, one must chant it, one must write it, one must be it, he says. And that is the key to manifestation, my children. So once again, I'm giving you homework, he says, and I'm asking you to move forward by journaling it. He says by chanting it, by writing it, by drawing it, by being it, by singing it. Just do it. He says, just do it. And this man with a gray hair, I want to say a full head of gray hair, and he's got a nice tan about him. And he says, yes, but what does that have to do with the week ahead? And he says, I will tell you, my child, what it has to do with the week ahead. It will help you get through and persevere through this coming week. He says, for again, it will be a difficult week of unknowingness, not only unknowingness, he says, but the sadness and the fear that comes with that. I am trying to help you to manifest purpose in your life, my children. And so if you do not heed my call here, when will you heed it? Next year? 10 years from now? But if you heed it today, imagine what your life will be 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, 25 years from today. So heed my call, children. I'm telling you, this week will be difficult ahead, but I'm giving you some tools to help you, to support you, to guide you through this upcoming challenging week. And remember to play. Play, children. Says God bless. So that is our weekly reading. So it's very familiar because last week's was very much the same. And oftentimes weeks can go like that, right? Where the energy is the same week from week. And we wonder if it's ever going to change up or shake it up. And I think White Hawk, is giving us tools to work with to help us to get through those challenging weeks or just challenging times in our life. So that's our weekly reading. So the next reading that is up is our topic of the week, and I am doing it on death. Our previous reading was on suicide, so if you haven't had a chance to have a listen, please do, and share, for we never know who we're helping. And also I wanted to mention the monthly reading will be coming up, and the way the month falls, I can either do the reading the week ahead, or it'll be a few days into the month that you'll receive the reading, because I do my topics of the week / monthly readings on Thursday, right? That's when it drops. So comment, let me know what you would prefer. Would you prefer the monthly reading this month a few days ahead, or would you not mind it being a few days within the month? So let me know. So subscribe, it's free. Share, like, comment, be kind, and keep it clean. And we shall see you next time. Thanks for listening, as always. I'll embed that Cute Girls Hair link into the description box, and you can peruse at your own discretion, I was going to say, but more at your own leisure is the way I should say. And we'll see you next time. I'm Tracy for Chandler's Channel. God bless.